we're gonna have a look at a bit how I've been performing over the weekend, and we're also going to dig into the stats of Felony, one of the community members who's been having a bit of a run bad lately. So we'll go over his stats, and we'll see what we can find out there. So yeah, let me just bring up my own graphs here, and I'm just gonna keep this window open so that I can see if any trades pops in. It's been fairly quiet on the soft books that I have so far, but I do think there are a bunch of games starting this evening, so it might still be a bit early. For those of you who have noticed, my fund growth has gone down a bit. I deposited about $100 to Super Lenny today, which is a clone of Guts, and also another $200 into CoolBet, which is a new Scandinavian bookie, and one of the recent bookies that we added to Trademate. So it's going to be interesting to see going forward how many edges pop up there, because they were doing their own odds. So hopefully there will be a good value to be found at CoolBet. We'll see. Okay, so still pretty much at a standstill. My trading over the last couple of weeks has been mostly on Saturdays and Sundays, as it's pretty busy during the weekdays with just regular Trademate work. I've been pretty much standing still for the last week or so, and yesterday the majority of my bets did not go very well. But luckily, a few of my bigger ones, such as the Barcelona Atletico game, and also there was one more game that went pretty well. That just saved me. I think that was one of them. And yeah, the Birmingham game also brought in a bit of cash. I also had one game that moved heavily against me. Reading, who's been a bit of a local team, as the Trademate team has spent some time in Reading. So happy to find an edge on them, but it ended up closing in a negative 15%. So yeah, shouldn't have had any money on that, and they didn't draw. So not too great. But at least it was only $25. So not the end of the world either. But the Barcelona game was pretty good. So they won 3-0. It was close, but on the right side. So pretty happy with that one. Despite all the other ones here, not doing too well. But yeah, so that's my stats for last today. I currently have 3 trades on. So I think one of them started the Sparta Rotterdam game. So I'm gonna keep following how that goes. Right, so let's next have a look at Felony stats. I had a bit of a look at his trades earlier, and he started, I think it was in December. Yeah, 6th of December. So in a little more than 2 months, he's been grinding out more than 2,000 trades. So really good work there from Felony, and yet he finds himself with a negative 10%, 10.9% fund growth, and just a huge gap up to the to what he should expect. So we're gonna dig some into why that is, and as we can see, he's been losing. And William Hill, although those are a bit smaller sample sizes. So when there is a high number of trades, I mean, Bet365 and Unibet, that's sort of what you would be expected looking at, but he's slightly down at Bet365 as well, which has been the same thing for me over over the time as my sample size has grown, but in general that should even out and turn it slightly positive, positive ROI. So yeah, right. Let's dig into the stats. So as we can see, he does have a lot of trades there in a lot of different odds ranges. So it's pretty cluttered and actually a bit difficult to judge. But let's have a look at the overall stats. 40k turnover, 2 months. That's pretty solid with a back growth of 2k. So great job there. The flat ROI is slightly better than the average ROI, which is an indicator that some of the larger bets have been losing. So we'll look at that later. Average odds of 3.64 and closing of 3.46. Okay, yeah, which as you can see, there's a bunch of bets in higher odds ranges, so that might have something to do with the run bad. Average time before kickoff an hour, so that's solid. Yeah, let's have a look at what happens if we look at odds above 5. Okay. Alright, so he's down, how much is it? 451 euros on odds above 5. So, in some ranges there, like around 9, with 9 trades running above, that looks good, but overall, just running way below EV on these higher odds ranges. And when your bankroll is only 2k, I know the minimum recommended bankroll is 1k, but that is quite small. And if you're running a low bankroll, then I really do think that people should stay away from higher odds ranges, just because having a low bankroll already makes you more vulnerable to swings. And when taking these higher odds ranges, it's just going to take a lot longer for the variance to even out, and it's difficult to support so and to when and to do so when you don't have a large bankroll. So I really would stick away from odds above 5 if you're running a bankroll that's below at least 3k and maybe even 5k. But yeah, so it's about 320 trades. All right, closing edge is, I mean, that's just amazing. 8.9%. It's sky high. But both the average ROI and the flat ROI is just it's terrible. And yeah, you really just leave yourself very, very vulnerable. Really high standard deviations as well. And if you had a infinite amount of money, like, you would be taking all of these bets. But if your bankroll is small, then really I think one should stay away. So let's have a look once we look at odds ranges below 5. Okay. So yeah, there's been up to this point it's pretty close to EV, and even really here the swings aren't too large. Kelly settings currently at 50%. I'm not sure if it's been that way all along. And if you do have a lot of open trades at the same time, then you will sort of place too much money on the early trades compared to your bankroll and too little on the later trades. So Kelly is optimal for a series of trades, but not when you have a lot of open bets at the same time. So I do get that it's tempting if you're running bad and you sort of want to spin it back up to increase the Kelly size, but I do think I'd stick to 30% in this case. And now the filter fell out, so I'm gonna bring that one back up again. Okay, yeah, so over these last 300 trades or so, it's just been going really downhill. And let's just have a look to see whether or not it doesn't appear that Philly is placing multiple trades on a game, which is good because that is another thing that increases the variance. So that one looks solid. Yeah, different leagues, different sports and everything. Right, so this one around 1.5, running below the theoretical hit rate, but still the net result is positive, so that's not where all the money is lost. This one around 1.75, hit rate of 51.5 versus the theoretical 57. Down 145 euros there. Closing is looking pretty good. Actually, it's higher than the edge place, so that looks like a good time range. So running slightly below EV here, which should even out. Same here, where it's also another 200. So yeah, it does look like a couple of these are running pretty much spot on, but also a couple of them are below. Yeah, and the average ROI is it's almost 3% lower than the flat ROI. So really just a bit of variance here in terms of a couple of the larger bets. Not swinging Felony's way and causing a downswing. So it doesn't look like there's too much to change really based on this. Let's have a look at the different sports next. So we'll start with football. Right, so 1,366 trades, so roughly 2/3 of all bets have been on soccer or football, which really is not too far away from the EV line, and also the average ROI here is higher than the flat, so the performance looks like it's better. Let's have a look if we bring that one below 5 and outs, just see what happens. Yeah, it does look to be pretty much spot on EV. So the football betting appears to be solid. Let's just have a quick look above 5 as well to see. Yeah, and there it's down about $249 or euros. So the higher odds ranges on football as well. Currently losing money. Okay, let's see if we can find anything interesting. Let's have a look at tennis. Tennis next. Started out with just everything. And yeah, so this is pretty interesting. So 184 trades on tennis, down 868 euros. So tennis has been bleeding money so far. And let's look if it's a lot of over-unders here. In general, there are instances where we get the incorrect results for tennis. So if you want to bet on tennis, especially the over-unders, I do recommend double checking the results and updating them manually, just to ensure that they're correct. Because at the moment there's not too much we can do on that since the results we are getting are incorrect. But it doesn't appear to be too many over-unders here. But yeah, tennis really is just bleeding us money. I mean, the average ROI 19%, flat ROI 23.5%. Closing edge is okay, but yeah, it's really just costing a lot of money. And look at this, like the tennis favorites, 1.75 in odds, only hitting 34% of the time versus theoretical of 57.1. I mean, 184 trades is not a very large sample size, so it's difficult to draw the conclusion of whether or not this indicates that tennis is not profitable at all. But it's certainly been costing Felony a lot of money up to this point. So me personally, I'd stay away from tennis here and keep betting on football really. Yeah, just look at these favorites from 1.75 to 2 odds. Just really not going away, and just that's 500 euros right there. Same for these. I mean, betting on high odds ranges in a tennis game as well is not something I recommend. There's just less. Yeah, there's only one versus one player or two versus two players here. While in a football game, there's 11 versus 11. So I do think that randomness plays a lesser role in tennis. Okay, yeah. So let's have a look at the other sports and see if we can pick up anything there. Uh, let's just first bag them together and see. Right, so this is 576 trades. Let's leave basket in and just see if we can sort of exclude some of these. Okay, 51 trades in total on handball, rugby, and American football and baseball. So let's just remove those and have a look at the basketball. Very good start, and then swings, and then a downswing hit. Right, average closing of 3%. Yeah, flat ROI 5%. Kelly at 1%. So see, indicates that the big bets have not been coming in here. Yeah, we have 5 bets here, like the large favorites, around 1.5 in odds range that have just not hit, and that's where 200 euros deviation comes from. So that would bring us back up here if those big games had gone the right way. Let's just have a look at, if we look at it below 5 and odds here as well, just see what happens. Yeah, graph looks pretty much the same. But yeah, here's just a matter of building the sample size since the favorites on the low odds ranges have been underperforming. Yeah, I mean, timing for kickoff is good. Really, I think this comes down to variance felony and just trying to avoid the higher odds ranges once you're doing this with a low bankroll. Um, and also maybe putting the tennis on hold for a bit. Would see running a bit more closer to EV. because I do get it. So it's not good being so far away from EV after 2K trades. But those higher odds ranges and the tennis results have really been killing you so far. So yeah, I'd stay away from those if I were you. Okay, I haven't been paying too much attention over here while I was looking through the stats, but I don't think there's been too much action. There's always a couple of trades popping in here at the sharp books, but my minimum bet size at Sport Market is $50, and all the recommended sizes are below that, so I keep staying away. Yeah. All right. Let's see if there are any questions on Twitch. And if you do have any questions, it would be great if you posted them on the Slack channel. Um, right. Okay, I see Erlen posted some stuff about favorite long shot bias in tennis. I'll have a look at that later. But it is possible that the odds on the underdogs is not as high as it should be, both in tennis and in other sports. So that the book make the majority of their money on people betting on underdogs by slicing the odds there. Yeah, Philony says I'm done with tennis for now, so yeah, probably wise. All right. So yeah, I'll have a look at the article you posted, Erlen. Slicing the odds there. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we'll actually just call it a day for now. If there's not too much action on, there's not too much to do really. But yeah, again, thanks, Felony, for volunteering to having your stats analyzed. And if anyone else wants me to go over their stats, just let me know, and I'll do so on the next episode of Trading Europe. So that's it for today, and take care. Happy betting as always, and see you next week.